Following an unprecedented wave of Western sanctions, the Russian economy is under pressure on multiple fronts, starting with its currency. France 24's business editor Cole Stangler is here with more.
Yeah, that's right, Aaron. Now, we've seen the value of the Russian ruble hit a new record low in recent days. Above all, it's the product of two key measures. For one, extremely aggressive sanctions on Russia's central bank, but also a move to block some Russian lenders from using SWIFT. That's the payment system used by banks around the world. Now, the currency has somewhat stabilized today, as you can see here, but still at an all-time low, $1 worth around 103 Russian rubles. Now, yesterday it lost around 30% of its value as those sanctions began to take effect, comparable to the hit that it took after the invasion of Crimea in 2014. I'll hopefully get you this graphic here of the Russian ruble, as you can see here. Now, if you compare that jump you can see in 2014 compared with what we're seeing today, happening over just a much quicker time period, in the span of a couple of days, really, at the end there of 2022. Now, because of the sanctions on Russia's central bank, I may have trouble accessing its foreign reserves. Authorities may also have trouble stabilizing the ruble. The effects will be hard to avoid. Russians' cash will be worth less, just as other restrictions take effect. But as this expert explains, that's precisely what the sanctions are meant to do.
So the question is not when Russian budget will run out of cash. It will not. The question is when Russian citizens will say, look, our purchasing power, our income's purchasing power is getting lower and lower. We cannot buy food and medicines. We want better life, and we don't want this war, which costs us too dearly.
Well, the stock exchange in Moscow is closed for a second straight day as authorities try to blunt the damage of those sanctions. But they haven't been able to stop many Western firms from heading for the exits. Just in the last few days, several have said they're winding down investments in Russia. That include Shell, Equinor, and BP. Russia's biggest foreign investor, GM and Daimler, meanwhile, say they're going to stop exporting cars to the country, while HSBC and aircraft leasing giant AerCap, the world's largest aircraft leasing giant, also moving to cut ties. Others still waiting for more clarity on the details of all the restrictions. And while ordinary Russians will be hit hard, there are also some more targeted measures aimed at prominent business leaders. Last night, the EU expanded its list of individuals covered by sanctions, adding 26 names to that list. Here are some of the more prominent ones. Now includes the founder of the bank Alpha Group, the heads of oil giants Rosneft and Transneft, as well as a prominent financier. All four being described as being close to President Vladimir Putin. Those on the blacklist face several measures, including a freeze on assets and bans on traveling to the EU. One of the big questions, of course, is how much these restrictions are going to affect oil supply. Russia, of course, being one of the world's leading producers. As you can see now, futures still hanging at some of their highest levels in years. Benchmark Brent crude trading at just around $100 a barrel. The International Energy Agency slated to meet later today to discuss how to stabilize markets. OPEC and its allies, which include Russia, slated to meet tomorrow. And we'll wrap up here with the major European indexes, pretty mixed at the open. Some slight gains on the FTSE, but losses on the DAX and the CAC 40 here in Paris, down around 0.5%. Investors there, and obviously keeping a very close eye on what's happening in Ukraine and Russia.
All right, Cole Stangler, thank you very much for the business update.